one for her team, she didn't even want to answer the question. She didn't even want to answer the question. You should have just answered the question and just took it for your team. Just saying, bro. Just saying.
That they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. And I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways. We've got to find.
Discussion regarding Caitlin Clark securing another championship award has emerged tonight, focusing on her remarkable achievement. For those unaware of recent developments, Caitlin Clark has been recognized with this prestigious honor. The announcement appeared to coincide with game timing, with news breaking just before the match commenced. The official post was located after some searching. The information was successfully added to the presentation. The content should now be visible to viewers.
We've got to find some ways to make it a little bit easier for her. But the level of physicality overall in our league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time. I'm sending it to you.
Kelsey Mitchell's been on fire recently. What do you feel like has been the difference for her this recent stretch? I think over the last, she's been your leading scorer the 7 of the last 8 games.
I don't know if there's anything that's any different.
Caitlin Clark has claimed another championship title, marking what appears to be her consecutive second annual victory for this WNBA recognition as league's top performer. The official announcement reads, "Congratulations to Caitlin Clark for earning WNBA Player of the Year honors." This particular announcement has generated significant social media engagement, accumulating over 700 comments and 35,000 likes. The impressive statistics show 35,000 likes on this specific post, with 600,000 total views recorded. Examining other posts in the vicinity reveals this announcement carries substantially more impact and viewer attention. The nearly 1 million views on this Player of the Year recognition combined with 700 comments demonstrates extraordinary engagement levels. The interaction numbers appear remarkable, effectively dismissing any negative commentary.
Been your leading scorer the 7 of the last 8 games.
I don't know if there's anything that's any different. I just think that she's in a rhythm and we're doing a better job of finding her. She's so active and she moves without the ball and we have certain actions that we can get her to get downhill.
And guys, she's totally not taking up for Caitlin. Stephanie White is completely bombing on Caitlin. Look, bro, and y'all wonder why I said what I said earlier. Y'all gonna call me a hater.
The impressive statistics deserve recognition, with congratulations extended to CC. State Farm also participated in the celebration. Someone mentioned the honor should have encompassed the entire league, though the source of this comment remains unclear. Congratulations to CC are in order. Caitlin Clark claims the W award. The award presentation moment arrived, with Caitlin Clark being announced as the winner. The award acceptance occurred on her behalf, serving as an attractive accessory for the interim period. While she wasn't present at the ceremony, discussion turned to Caitlin's accomplishments over the past year and what aspects have been most notable.
Y'all gonna call me a hater. Y'all gonna call me a hater, bruh. A hater, bruh. Because she's not taking up for Caitlin at all.
I think the biggest change is she's been on balance. Oftentimes she gets going so fast that she gets off balance. And Breon January has really been talking to her about being on 2 feet. And it's made a difference. It's made a difference in her ability to decision make and her ability to.
The exponential growth of the game stands out prominently. She attracts viewership to the sport, enabling future generations to emerge and flourish. Her dynamic playing style creates excitement for spectators. Her transformation into a compelling antagonist figure has begun, and she embraces this role while fans respond enthusiastically. The incoming generation continues this momentum, making the entire development thrilling to observe. The commentary was positive overall. The decision was made not to mail the award, A question arose about whether Caitlin Clark was characterized as a villain, though disagreement exists with this characterization. Complete support remains with CC, and congratulations to Caitlin Clark are well deserved after a challenging 24-hour period, representing one of the finest examples.
In her ability to finish, and we're getting her the ball in positions that she can be successful.
I know we just finished this game, but knowing that you have a back-to-back tomorrow, New York, with Caitlin's status up in the air, how do you guys kind of turn the page and just prepare, I guess, for possibility she plays or she doesn't play, and knowing how tough of an opponent they are?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just take it one step at a time. We'll get some food and get on the plane and start talking about New York, and
Questions arose about the treatment of Angel Reese in comparison. Recent channel content has attempted to avoid excessive criticism of Angel Reese, choosing instead to leave her situation unaddressed. The reasoning centers on there being insufficient substance to warrant discussion. This explains the absence of numerous Angel Reese videos, as there seems no compelling reason to address her circumstances currently. Someone commented she must be the injured face of the league, though Caitlin has held the face of the league position. The situation appears quite extraordinary. The WNBA house allows her to continue pursuing her passion. Someone apparently made a joke about Caitlin Clark at the XBS event. A post appeared on Instagram from Caitlin.
We're talking about New York, and she's being evaluated. We'll see where we are with that, and certainly we'll have another evaluation, probably in conversation in the morning, see where we are, but this group has played without her. We've got experience in that. We know that we have a tough opponent in New York. We know that it's going to be a challenge no matter what, and we just got to get locked in and ready to compete.
Coach, and for people that clearly know, how much piggyback off that?
Sydney Colson wore the same dress as the commissioner. This detail went unnoticed initially. The joke's location remained unclear. Appreciation extends to those staying up late for 2 consecutive nights. Activity levels have remained high with live streaming sessions. 2 consecutive live broadcasts followed game coverage. The joke about Caitlin Clark suggested that upon retirement from the WNBA, she would work at a Waffle House to continue her favorite activity of fighting black women. This joke was deemed inappropriate and unfunny across all measures. Caitlin Clark's Instagram post showed her wearing the same dress as the commissioner. Questions arose whether Sydney Colson chose this outfit to gain commissioner attention. Basketball has no bigger villain figure. People expressed anger toward her coach. The situation with Stephanie White and the organization remains unresolved.
How much piggyback off that question in your last statement? How much of an advantage does it give you? I mean, it's not a shot at the previous coach, but with you're literally right down the road last year. You guys have been back and forth in a battle with New York. So there's really nothing that the Liberty can do or show you anything. They can't do anything differently than you've seen before. How much of an advantage does it give you as a coach going into tomorrow's game?
I don't know. I think knowing how different they play without
a bookmark notation suggests Caitlin Clark would never join New York Liberty for identical reasons. She never attended UConn. Disagreement exists with this assessment, as New York seems like a plausible destination. Agreement typically exists on various topics, but the Best College Athlete of the Year award went to Juju, marking the 2nd time for this recognition. Tammy Kessie Brand Merle's presence in the Mass Avenue neighborhood represents positive community engagement. The Caitlin Clark and Stewie photograph is expected to achieve viral status and break internet records. These individuals have committed assault against her throughout the season. They qualify as thugs and have definitely assaulted her all season in Indiana. The Attorney General requires involvement.
Knowing how different they play without JJ on the floor. Seeing the different ways that they're getting shots and attacking. I mean, Fibic has come back and has been outstanding. They're a matchup problem. And whether it's a matchup problem because they're big on the interior when JJ's there, or because they're small and they can spread the floor and shoot it and, be versatile on the defensive end, give you some different looks. For us, it's about continuing to build and grow. We've got to make great reads. We can't.
Previous commentary addressed the Department of Justice potentially intervening in this Caitlin Clark and Indiana situation because the treatment appears unconstitutional. The situation resembles a hate crime from a personal perspective, definitely qualifying as such. The assault pattern she experiences warrants this classification. The Michael Jordan precedent occurred in the 1980s, but this is 2025. That involved a men's league, while this concerns a women's league. Despite being professional sports, this situation must be examined as a hate crime. This definitely qualifies as a hate crime by any reasonable standard. The game analysis requires attention. The press conference has been released. The box score needs review because tonight's game demands discussion.
Absolutely shocked if Caitlin Clark does not play in the All-Star game. Because if it says questionable, and again, Caitlin Clark has been injured and the Fever have said out plenty of times with Caitlin Clark. They have said out plenty of times. And the thing is, with it being questionable, means the MRI probably came up negative. The MRI probably came up negative. And that is a really, really good sign for the Indiana Fever. It is a weird...
The initial intention was to avoid extensive game analysis because this felt like a recoverable situation. The question remains whether games like this can be reclaimed. This represents one of those situations where turning the page and moving forward seems appropriate based on current appearances. Tonight resulted in complete disaster. The disaster was comprehensive. Hopefully this represents one of those potentially recoverable situations. A recent WNBA All-Star Weekend featured a notable live broadcast on Twitch where Natisha Heidemann and Courtney Williams hosted a streaming session. The broadcast attracted approximately 4,500 concurrent viewers, with their channel maintaining around 22,000 followers total. This viewership represented significant engagement for basketball content on the platform, with numbers potentially reaching into the tens of thousands at peak moments.
The MRI probably came up negative, and that is a really, really good sign for the Indiana Fever. It is a weird sign because it could be, there is a possibility that it's a bad sign. And what I mean by that is, it could literally be they're scanning the groin, and it could be an injury somewhere else in her leg that's causing this. What my assumption is that originally when this happened with her groin, I thought it was pinched nerve. That was my guess. And again, look, we're just guessing. We're not medical doctors. And people are like, this a medical.
The streaming session became controversial when Sophie Cunningham appeared as a guest, leading to moderation policies that resulted in numerous viewer bans. The host implemented rules prohibiting negative commentary about any players during the weekend event. When Cunningham joined the stream, the moderators and players maintained their stance of not permitting criticism directed at her. This situation highlighted an interesting dynamic where professional athletes demonstrated unity rather than engaging with fan hostility. The players showed genuine disregard for online criticism, particularly Williams, who maintained an attitude of complete indifference toward public opinion. Williams consistently expressed her thoughts without concern for audience reactions, accepting that responses would be either positive or negative.
Some people are like, this a medical doctor has said X, Y, and Z. And it's like, let's be real, we are all just making assumptions. Whether you are a medical doctor when you've seen this, people are making, nobody knows exactly, nobody's seen the scans. So it's only our actual doctors that are going to have the opinions. So anybody else, regardless of their degree, is making guesses based on experience. And as somebody who has gone for hip scans because I've had physios and doctors think I tore a labrum. Turns out that I had a pinched nerve. That was kind of what I was hoping.
The moderation approach stated that negativity toward any player would result in removal from the stream, emphasizing positivity and love. However, certain fan segments reacted negatively to this protective stance, particularly those who had previously supported aggressive actions against Cunningham during games. These same critics had previously sided with other players in conflicts with Cunningham, often for reasons that appeared politically motivated rather than sports-related. The controversy seemed connected to the Caitlin Clark effect, where players' reputations became influenced by their proximity to or rivalry with Clark. Athletes who opposed Clark gained favor among certain fans, while those who supported her or played alongside her faced increased criticism.
Nerve, that was kind of what I was hoping for. But my guess is that there's some sort of an imbalance in her running, and I think it's the reason why she's falling over all the time. Like, there's a difference between flopping with control and just falling over. Like, she falls over her own feet way too often. She falls over her own feet way, way too often. Like, she was in pain when it came to like her groin
The situation became more
when it came to like her groin during the Seattle Storm game before she kind of tripped over her own feet. So there could be an imbalance. Like it could literally be a case where, let's just say her, I don't know, maybe her right quad is still tight, and then she had quad tightness in one of her quads, and then a strain in her other quad, and maybe she's overcompensating. So it's not that she has a groin strain; she's just overcompensating, and she's having groin pain. Like that could very easily be the case.
The streaming controversy revealed the disconnect between certain fan expectations and player attitudes. When the host simply requested that viewers avoid negativity toward any athlete, some fans reacted as if this was an unreasonable demand. The criticism extended beyond Cunningham to include attacks on Williams herself for maintaining neutrality. This reaction pattern has affected multiple players associated with the Indiana Fever, including Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and formerly Danielle Robinson. Players who were previously popular among certain fan segments found themselves targeted once they joined Clark's team. Robinson experienced a complete reversal in fan support when she left Indiana, with the same people who had criticized her suddenly supporting her again.
That could very easily be the case. And with that being the case, she still needs time off, but it's a completely different type of rehab than resting a groin. It's a completely different type of rehab. So for me, I'm like, it is something that the Indiana Fever really need to, kind of figure out. But I don't know if they figure it out this season. Like, I don't know if this is something that's figured out before.
The behavior demonstrates how proximity to Clark has become a determining factor in fan reactions regardless of individual player actions or character. The pattern affected established players like Mitchell, who wasn't significantly more disliked before joining the Fever, and Boston, who faced considerable negative commentary despite her professional conduct. Cloud and Griner's positive relationships with Cunningham suggest that her reputation among actual players differs significantly from certain fan perceptions. Professional athletes generally recognize good teammates and enjoyable personalities, indicating that Cunningham likely possesses these qualities regardless of external criticism.
It out before next season. I think this is one of those things where she might have to sit out the guts of a season. Not the guts of a season, sorry. I say the guts of a season, but the off season. It could be something where instead of playing golf, who knows? Maybe the imbalance from overplaying golf. Who knows? Maybe instead of playing golf to start the off season, she's just rehabbing. She's rehabbing, trying to figure it out, and getting her running back.
The streaming host's approach of maintaining positivity and creating an entertaining environment attracted viewers precisely because people naturally gravitate toward upbeat, engaging content. Williams and Heidemann's success in drawing thousands of viewers demonstrates that positive energy and genuine entertainment value resonates with audiences more effectively than negativity and criticism. The controversy ultimately revealed that until Clark's career situation changes dramatically, anyone connected to her will likely face continued criticism from certain fan segments. This pattern has already affected numerous players and will probably continue impacting future teammates and supporters.
She's rehabbing, trying to figure it out, and getting her running back. If it turns out that obviously she's put on a lot of upper body bulk, that she needs to kind of put on the lower body bulk. Or maybe, you know what, she's got physicians there that are there. Ask her about it. Does she feel comfortable? And if her answer is no, okay, slim down a bit. Try to slim down a bit. Slim down coming into the season. You can afford to lose some of that muscle. Try to get the running mechanics back. And figuring that out, because you have to relearn a lot of things when you put.
The streaming incident showed that professional athletes understand the importance of supporting colleagues and maintaining positive working relationships, even when fan pressure encourages division. The players' refusal to engage in negativity toward Cunningham or any other athlete demonstrated professional maturity and solidarity within the league.